Hi everybody, I'm Amanda. Welcome to my channel. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. There's a notifications bell down at the corner that will let you know as to when I'm going live. There are also in the descriptions ways to support my channel. If you'd like, there is a PayPal link and a link to my Amazon wish list. So today, yay! All right, so my birthday is on Monday. And I love my birthday. I've gone into the reasons why, whatever. I just love birthdays. Birthdays are great. So I decided that because honestly, I'm not going to be able to have a party this year with social distancing. My friend Tony, though, did say that afterwards, after everything's gone, we will definitely throw me a party. So yay. So I thought what would be really exciting is to kind of do this with you guys, you know. I'm going to make a birthday cake. And so today we're actually just going to make the cake portion. And then tomorrow we will go into frosting and decorating. And then the cake will be ready by Monday. And we will have a happy birthday, right? So first we're going to do just a simple vanilla sheet cake, right? I chose that because it's going to hold the layers really well. And we're going to be doing a layer cake. So I've got, what we're going to do first is I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Okay. And I have here in this bowl right here, I have 3 cups of flour. I have a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, teaspoon of salt. Okay. And I have that all in here. Then I've got 1.5 cups of sugar right here. Vanilla. We have 1 cup of butter, and you need your butter. See how I press it and it leaves a little impression there. It's softened to room temperature. We've got 3 eggs. I have here a 1/3 cup of vanilla yogurt and a cup of whole milk. So I am going to take you through just real simply. And what we're going to do is I actually don't have a round cake pan. So I'm going to be making it in this. This is just a square pan. I wonder what size. We can see maybe it has a size on it. Nope, it does not. So whatevs, this is what I'm using. And what I'll be doing is after I put it here, I'm just going to do a simple method, put this in here or on it and cut a circle out, and we're going to do it with that. And then we'll use the scraps of cake for other stuff. So we've got this. First, with these dry ingredients, with these dry ingredients, I'm going to pour the sugar right in there, okay? And what we really want to do is get this sifted. And that's why I have this here, this little, I'm forgetting the names for stuff. Sorry, that happens sometimes. The whisk. So I'm just kind of getting everything really fluffy because I used an all-purpose flour rather than a cake flour, and that tends to be much more heavier. So I'm just really going to want to get as much air into here as possible. So you're going to want to take a couple minutes doing that. And you'll actually see it start looking fluffier as you're doing it. You'll see that air come in there and it'll start looking lighter. And this is actually it's so important for cake. To get a nice, good cake with a good crumb to it, you're really going to want to get that flour fluffed up and those dry ingredients fluffy. So just wear out your arm on that. Okay, and once you got that nice and just kind of fluffy, kind of just throw it up a little bit, you know. It's just, I wish you'll see it. You'll see it rather than a big ball of flour sitting in there. You're going to see it kind of lift and look and really look kind of fluffy. So I'm not going to be able to capture that amount of detail, I think, on the camera, but what else? Okay, so we got that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter, our room temperature butter. We're going to open that up. You don't want it completely soft, just kind of room temperature. Hi, Seattle Judy. And we are going to just kind of cut this. See, cut it right there, like that. And then we're going to cut it into cubes and put it in here. And this is, right now this is half a cup, but we're going to be adding one cup of butter. It's very room temperature, so it's kind of sticking to the knife a little bit. And I think I dropped a pat over here. Okay, next one. And if you're not getting yourself all buttery and messy, are you really doing it right? I am making a full-on mess here of butter. Now I need to rinse my hands off. But we got a handy-dandy kitchen towel right here. Okay, great. So once you put your butter in there, I thought, what did I do with that? Oh, here we go. Wooden spoon. Now you're gonna just take that butter, those cubes, and just kind of chop it up in those dry ingredients. Okay. You're gonna get that butter kind of coated with the flour. You're not gonna quite incorporate it all yet. You're just gonna kind of get that butter coated. Now, hi, Ada. I am doing wonderful. I am doing wonderful. Looking forward to my birthday, and I'm excited to share it out with all of you, the prep. And so the full cake is actually going to be chocolate and peanut butter and strawberry with vanilla cake. And I had to just go, those are like the three things I just absolutely love. So this should be, well, actually I like all sorts of flavors. I almost went with lemon strawberry, but I feel that I am really kind of just digging the whole peanut butter chocolate thing going on here. Okay, so we got that going on. We got an empty bowl here, and this is for our wet ingredients here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this spoon here. And I'm just going to put this vanilla yogurt into here, right here, like that. Okay. Put that in the sink. Take my eggs here. Let's see, Delia. Everyone, please look at my website. This neighbor came over. Oh, that's horrible, Delia. Hopefully, yeah, that's awful. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely report that person to either housing or I don't know who you would call for that. Q family, wow, your cake smells. I hope it's going to be amazing. I believe it's going to be amazing. And if it's not, luckily I have the skills to make another one. I guess that's a good thing about cooking and baking, right? If it doesn't turn out, you know how to make another one. So I'm going to take, and out of this milk here, I'm just going to take about half of that and put it in here. I'm going to mix that all together. And, oh, I almost forgot. We got a whole tablespoon of vanilla here. Over there. And get that all mixed up. And you're going to want to mix that mixture up real well. All right, so we got all that mixed up. Let's see. So love your channel. If you play us, people look at the video on my channel. Okay, well, Delia, you can put a link up to it, and if they'd like to go check that out, they absolutely can. Wow, happy birthday! Thank you. I am definitely having a good life, and I am thankful. You know, that's the thing, though, is I got a life like everybody else is full of challenges, and I think that that's what that in and of itself, good or bad, you know, we face it and deal with it. Delia, this guy was using. Okay, that's awful, Delia. Okay, so now next half cup of milk, we're gonna put okay. When I put that half from this into that, make sure this is going. The rest of it is going straight up into the dry ingredients, and we're just gonna kind of stir that in. And at this point, it's going to still look real chunky. Because it's almost going to look, at this point, it's going to look a lot like a dough. Okay, Delia, you can put a link up if you would like, but at this time, we're going to focus on, we're going to bake the cake. So definitely put a link up and, you know, people can check that out and definitely do something. But at this point, we're going to focus our attention on how to make this yummy and delicious. So now that we've got that going on, we've got this. It looks like a good dough almost. Let me show you this. See, it's kind of looking like a dough there. Now we're going to take this over here. And rinse off our fingers again. Because I just love making a hot mess. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take this, and I haven't added any of the wet ingredients yet, or the wet ones yet. I'm just going to get this all mixed up real quick. Get this butter incorporated. Then I'm going to pour about half of this in here. Okay. Okay. And then add the rest of it. That's yummy. Okay. So we got our pan here. And I'm just going to spray the pan down. Now, I'm going to just spray it down. I'm actually not going to flour it. A lot of times you'll grease and flour your pan, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of do it with greasing. I'm looking for my little scrapey tool. Is that it? I have a little bowl scraping tool that I use, and that's very helpful. And here we are. It's just really like, and they're so helpful, but it's kind of silly. They're just like little pieces of flexible plastic that you can use to like really get in there and scrape that bowl. So I'm going to take this. Now I'm not going to add all the cake mixture to this, because remember, I'm doing a layer cake. So I want to leave some back, and I will make about 3 of these. So that will give us, if I make 3 of this is going to give us 3 circles for this layer cake. Just kind of smooth down the top. Scrape that. Okay, see, we're about right there. So it's going to rise to about right there, and that's about a good level for the first layer. So I'm going to pop that right in there. I hope you all are having an amazing weekend. I've had a fever all day, which is kind of why I look a little red, but I'm hoping that everything is good and it kind of goes away, because who wants to be sick, right? So I'm going to, while this bakes before, because it's going to take probably about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So we'll just like pop that. Okay, so while that's baking, what I did here, this is just a cake stand, right? And it's one of those, it's a turnable one. What I did is I just put cling wrap on the top, because when this first layer comes out and it gets flipped, I'm going to want to put that circle on here, but I'm also going to kind of want it a little movable. So I put the cling wrap can kind of help with that, because it's providing a place for you to put it, but still also as needed, you can also move it and do the things you need to do with it. Yeah, I do too. I was a little concerned this morning. I wasn't feeling the greatest yesterday. And today I woke up and again was not feeling the greatest, and I'm running at about 100 today, about 100.4 this morning, and 100 this morning, and 100 and 100.4. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that it's just something very simple and it'll go or whatever. But if not, I'll get it checked out. I'm just gonna wait the weekend, see if the symptoms dissipate, and not much I can do. And drink my coffee. So now I was going to take you through kind of the ingredients that we're going to need. Now, in between the layers, what I'm going to do, rather than a buttercream frosting, I'm going to do more of a ganache. Now, I'm going to do a peanut butter and chocolate one. And so what we're going to need, and I'm just going to quick take you through the supplies that are going to be needed for tomorrow, because I'm going to break this up, of course, because there is a long time period before I'll be able to decorate the cakes, because they all have to cool. And so that's hours. So I'm just going to tell you now, we're going to need cocoa powder, granulated sugar, butter, heavy whipping cream, and peanut butter. Okay, and then I've got strawberries too. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up slicing those strawberries and coating those in dark chocolate and putting that above the ganache, setting the cake down on it, doing another layer of that. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do like a whipped cream frosting or exactly what I'm going to do for the top yet, but that's going to be the layer. So that's kind of the basic ingredients that we're going to need for what's going to happen tomorrow. Yay! But I thought one thing I really do enjoy is chocolate and peanut butter together. And I love chocolate. Chocolate covered strawberries are so delicious. And I've had them with chocolate and peanut butter, and they taste absolutely amazing. So I know the flavors are all going to go together really, really well. And I know that no matter how it turns out, I will definitely eat that. So let's talk about, because we're still waiting for this cake, let's talk about how things are here. Um, there's been a lot of news coverage on Seattle, and let me just tell you, Seattle's great. And no, there is not rampant violence running the streets, or anything of the sort. As a matter of fact, I've seen tons of videos and talked to my friends who've been over to Chaz, which is the autonomous zone. And it's a lot like my favorite outdoor concert thing, which is folk life, except they don't have bands. But I imagine like some people come over and play some music, so it's pretty chill. It's pretty awesome. Kat, hello. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. I'm so glad you were okay. Um, yeah, so, but things are going good here. Very excited about some new developments in the nonprofit world. Um, very excited to just be taking part in some really exciting projects. This Wednesday, I will be going out with the city's NAV team and kind of observing, because I really want to open some dialogue between other providers and them, so that we can make sure that we are giving people the absolute best service possible and improve our numbers and improve getting people into housing. And you can rail against a system, but if you don't understand how it works or what needs to be improved, it's not helpful. So I really wanted to spend that time and get to know what I could do that could fix some of these problems, like lack of, like transparency. We need to have them to be transparent. We need them to be accountable. We need to see those numbers. We need to know what we can do to increase those numbers of people getting help. So I scheduled an appointment. I'll be going out, and hopefully we can improve some of those things. So very exciting news on the forefront. Looking so forward to next week because there's so many exciting things happening, and including my birthday. And that's starting out the week. So of course it's got to be a good week, right? Let's take a look at our cake here. Oh, not quite done, but looking great. So it's rising well. I don't want to be like jumping around or anything, because that's another thing. If you didn't know, cakes fall, and so you have to. I learned my lesson when the kids were little and would be baking a cake, and they'd be like running and things like that. I'd be like, whoa, because every time it would happen, like the middle of, it's same thing as if it's not done enough, like the middle falls in. So if you have like a lot of activity happening in your place and stuff like that, be aware that with that can mean that your cake will fall. So you kind of want everything to be chill. Thank you, Jaden. I appreciate it. And of course, I've got coffee here, and I actually kind of got this new kind. It's toasted hazelnut, and I've been mixing it with my regular coffee, and I'm really digging it. It's pretty yummy, and it's not like an overwhelming. I mix it with the regular, so it's not like an overwhelming flavor or anything. So I hope everybody is doing wonderfully. I am aware that COVID cases are rising again, and we knew that there was going to be a second wave. This is not surprising, but I do want to say, regardless of whether you agree, disagree, whatever with the mask, just care about other people and wear a mask. It's really not that difficult, and literally, it does help prevent. It helps. With the transmission of this. So, no matter if you're against it, for it, think it's a hoax, whatever you think, just care about others and wear one. It's really like the least amount of effort that you can do to care for people. Like really, like if you don't want to do anything else, if you just don't care about anybody at all, the least amount of things you can do is just to show a little care is wear that mask. Okay. Because there are people that are, immunosuppressed. There are people that can get sick very easily. And you just don't know. You don't know. And you don't know if you're going to start showing symptoms in a couple of days. And with COVID, 2 days before your symptoms start is when you are infectious. So it's very, very important, even if you feel good or whatever. Because I will tell you today, with my fever and the things that are going on, I wanted to go to the grocery store. I had things to get. I was like on it, wanting to go, and I just can't do that to people. Like regardless if that's what it is or whatever, I haven't been tested. It doesn't matter. I have to understand that right now there's a pandemic happening and I need to sit home. So luckily, Athena had come and she decided, and she went to the store to pick up these things so that I could make a birthday cake. And I got asked by in the comments by if I was going to do a birthday dinner. And I totally think that that's an amazing idea. So I do think that I'm going to do a live on my birthday, and we will all make a birthday dinner together. So if you have ideas for what a good birthday dinner would consist of, throw them up in the comments. And well, I'll be honest, what I am considering Philly cheesesteaks because I really like the ones I make. But I'm open to suggestions because sometimes my mind does not go far, like I won't think of something that's really yummy that I haven't had in a while or whatever. So if there are comments or ideas or whatever, just throw them on down there. Let's take a look at our cake here. All right, it's taken a minute. I thought about that actually before I came on. I thought about that. I was like, I wonder if because I've done that before where I'll do one first and then do the vlog. And then that way I already have one done enough to show you. But this time I did not do that. And I literally did not think of any subjects to talk about in the meantime. And it's because I always have like a billion things to talk about all the time. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of coming up blank. But the cake is looking good. So I am going to ask you to bear with me for just a moment. If you guys could just hold for a second. Rowan is at the door and she is begging me to come in. So I need to go and just let her in. So give me 2 shakes and I will be right back. But I got to let this girl in. Hey, girl. What are you doing, kiddo? You want inside? I'm not talking. I'm talking to the camera. I'm not talking to anybody who's here. Nobody's here. I'm talking to the camera. And because she is such a good puppers, we're going to give you a kebab. There you go. She got her treat too. Birthday dinner for 1 or 2. I'm not sure. I was thinking actually about having Gypsy and all of them come up too. But I don't know about the logistics of doing that and whether that would be. I just don't want to have anybody around if I'm running a fever. So hopefully, and you know what? Even if it's for 1, I might eat it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be for 2 or more. Almost positive it'll be for 2 or more. I really don't know what to say right now. Like it's so strange. I always have something on my mind to talk about. And literally it is just, I have reached a blank. So if anybody has any questions for me or anything else, just let me know. I think it's just because I'm a little tired. Check on this again. Nope. So impatient. I am so impatient when it comes to this. Man, I should have just done the frosting like right away. I think it's a cool there. It's in the 50s in Chicago. Oh, that's cold. No, it's been really kind of rainy. And yesterday was Friday. Yeah, I think it rained all day. But it's actually been really warm, like really nice warm. Like I would say like upper 60s, 70s. So it's been like comfortable. And that's really, I'm like, is it June, right? Yeah, exactly. Like we're having definite June weather, and I'm glad that it's not like overbearingly hot. It's just been, honestly, it's been beautiful. And oh, all right, guys, because we are waiting on this cake, I'm going to take you to see something. Oh, gotta unplug the laptop. So I gotta show. All right, da, 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 da. You're coming along with me. Okay, we're gonna come out here, and those right there, those are sweet peas. And if you look close, you'll see that they're starting to bloom. So it has been very nice. I've got an amazing, you can see behind me, I've got big flowers center. I just had to show them off because they're just like the cutest, sweetest little plants, and they're great for like training on a balcony. So yeah, it's been absolutely beautiful, not gonna lie. Ro, you want to stay out there or you want to come in? What you want? You want to stay? Okay. Yes, my garden is growing. Oh, I think if you go, you can see like the little hanging garden thing. And that actually does have arugula and other sprouts coming up. So yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very excited about the possibilities of the garden and everything else. I just love it. And each one of my plants is kind of like, well, each one of my plants is an individual to me. So when I see them doing good, like my lavender is just like bursting right now, and I see them doing well, and it brings me so much joy. And the lady, I had this neighbor downstairs, and she has like the ones on the first floor have like these big balconies, right? So she had like these beautiful trees and this gorgeous garden all out there, and she moved. And so now the birds are kind of looking for a new place to like chill. And I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that they choose my balcony. I just want them all here. Like, come on, birds, come here, come here. I'll grow whatever you like. Thank you, Bordy. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and like anybody, it continues, and each chapter is interesting and lovely in its own way. Even the hard ones have some very amazing times and some very, yeah, I don't know. It's just like even the times where it's just like challenging and heart-wrenching and all of that other stuff, there's still like amazing memories from that are good. You know, as a matter of fact, I was kind of talking with Athena about that today. Is we were talking about the difference, like, people a lot of times when you're out there, they'll be like, well, where's your family? And a lot of us, myself included, that most of our family is not blood. And so you learn to and grow into this community that becomes very familial. And I'm grateful for that. I am so grateful for this amazing extended family that I gained from going through it, right? I went through it, but I also gained understanding and wisdom and family and beautiful things from those challenges. So as glad as I am to totally be out of that, I also recognize the education and the benefit of learning more about, that being in that demographic and what it taught me about, it taught me a lot about choices. there is a lot of, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? Well, the thing is A, hindsight's 2020, and B, many times that isn't a choice that's offered. It isn't a viable option, or it's not realistic, or it's not fitting into where you are at that moment. And so it's very hard. It was really hard to understand before, because I was just like that. Well, why don't you do this? And you could do this and you could do that. And the thing is not all the time. And so we need to, it taught me to deal with things as they are and as they are now, look to the future, and be more empathetic and understanding, for sure. Love the birds. So many today while on a walk. I've seen there, we've got this one, and I cannot, it's got like these really pretty, I'd almost think it was like a starling maybe, but it's so cute. And it comes up, there's like this little peak over here in the roof, and it flies up there to show off its worms. It is the greatest thing ever. And he like hops around and looks at the balcony, makes sure, and like shakes his little worm, and then stands there for a little bit and flies away. And he does it daily. And it is the greatest thing ever. And I'm always like, good job, buddy. You get those words. Like, woo! Cheering on the birds. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got maybe about 5 minutes. It's coming up good. And I'm very excited because it looks amazing. This is going to turn out so great. Yay. But it's going, there's something in the tenacity of birds. You know, I find them such, you know, well, it's not just birds. I find creatures and beings in and of themselves interesting, from my plants on down to microbiology. Oh, waiting on the cake. Oh, that is something I did not tell you guys. I don't know how many of you had watched my mask making tutorial, but I had Sheila call me, my friend, and they were having issues with some of their masks, like getting loose and slipping down. So I made ones now. As a matter of fact, I'll go grab one. I made some now, and I mean that this one is specifically for her and her husband, but I made them to where now, if you put them on, right? Put this on, you can actually tighten it down at the bottom. And so you can move this to make this go tighter, and then tighten it down here so that it tightens around here, and you still have that seal there. So that if it loosens up at all, you have this at the bottom to tighten it. So those are some new ones that I am working out. I'm actually going to wash and dry this one because I just put it on my face. I'm pretty sure I'm not down with spreading these to my friends. But I thought that was kind of neat. She had asked me for something like that, and it took me a little bit to figure out how to work it out and how to get it there. But I did it, and I'll probably be sharing that as well with you. Those are, I like the bottom string to tighten it. Yeah, and it really, honestly, it wasn't too hard. When you're sewing the top here, you just make sure that it's not sewing the string in there. So just like you would any elastic or whatever. And instead of sewing right here on these, you leave it open, and then you just leave this opening at the bottom where you put the two in. It actually, like I said, it took a minute to figure it out and figure out the pattern and how I was going to make it work. But once I did, they're super, super simple to make. The only thing is this is This is not elastic. I didn't have shorts, so I cut one of my pairs of leggings. And so for the legs, I don't, of course, once you cut them into shorts, you don't need the legs anymore. So I took the legs and just cut them into strips. So it's really easy as well, guys, to like reuse material. Like reuse, reuse, reuse. You got stuff that you don't, want anymore and nobody else is going to want it. Cut it up, make it into stuff. And then don't put this back in the clean. Okay. So most people wearing masks here. Not so much in Indiana. We were there for brand service. We felt like many were going rogue. Yeah, I am so thankful to live in an area. Like we had 60,000 plus on the streets yesterday for our silent march. And the majority were wearing masks. It is, I'll admit, I forget every once in a while, but I'll go back up for mine. And it doesn't have to do with somebody might look at me funny or whatever. It has to do with the fact that I care about other people. And I know that every move I make, every step I make has an impact on my world. And I want my impact to be as positive as possible. And I don't think it's a positive impact to infect people. And honestly, that's the thing. You would never know you were like, how horrible would that be? You're doing fine. You're doing great. 2 days later, you're sick and you realize that you were infectious within that 2-day period before, and you infected somebody that died. Like that right there would weigh on my heart. I don't know how I would be, just that, not only the trauma of them dying, but the trauma of that I took responsibility for that. Like that would be, that would hurt. That would hurt badly. And I just don't want to be that person. And it doesn't have anything to do with somebody telling me something. The thing is that we can do the right thing without people having, apparently people do have to tell us to do the right thing, but it is perfectly okay to do that without having to have it enforced. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I don't understand, like the whole, are you going to make me type thing? It's like, well, we shouldn't have to. You should just do it because it's the right thing to do. Duh. Thank you. So yeah, exactly. It that's the thing is that, the wearing of the masks isn't about us. Like it's not a self-serving thing. It's about others. It's about understanding disease transmission and not caring about really the details of what's going on, just knowing that, we can do our part to make sure that other people are safe. And I think that that's huge. So I guess I just don't understand really the blowback behind it. It's really not that big of a deal. The only thing I can say, and I'm gonna laugh, the most horrible thing about wearing a mask is if you have, well, besides like underlying conditions, but if you have glasses, like seriously, they just immediately, I go outside, I breathe, and I can't see. So there are times if I'm not around people that you will see me take my mask and put it down or whatever. And as soon as I'm around people, I'll pull it up. But seriously, that's not even an issue. My glasses fogging up, what a wonderful problem to have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that really a problem? Right? Glasses fogging, right? If I laugh or whatever, because I try to like breathe so that it doesn't do it, but I do burst into giggles from time to time, and I'll be laughing, and all of a sudden I just like I can't see. Oh yay! It's done. Okay, it did fall a little bit in the middle, but not too bad. And unfortunately, we are not going to be tasting it because it's super hot and it needs to cool. But tomorrow, since we're going to be decorating, believe me, we'll take some little bites and taste off of it. So I'm going to pull it up here so you can see the finished product and try not to burn myself because that's been a thing lately. There we go, guys. See, that's about how, see how that goes? That's risen. And then we got that top there where it's just like peaked just a little bit. It's not like seriously risen, but it hasn't fallen. So we know we've got, yeah, that's a good texture there. I can just tell already. So works out great. We got this. Now, what we're going to do to finish up is we're going to do 3 of these. Okay. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut those into circles. So we're going to have 3 circles about that big, and we're going to do a layer cake. And that rest of that will be tomorrow. I will schedule that tomorrow, and we will be doing the frosting and the decorating because the cakes will be cool by then. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for hanging in there with me and my awkward conversation sometimes when I don't know what to say. But I'll get this figured out. It's like a new, every time I do it, there's always something I learn, and having to sit and wait for the oven to get done might not be a thing. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bye.